Welcome back, everybody, to the New York Knicks MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K23. We have made it to the trade deadline here in year number one, and our Knicks have a real opportunity to better this team for the short term and the long term today. We are currently the number 8 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're in a very tight race for one of those play-in spots. I think overall the team has been below average this year, but certainly not bad. We've been playing over 500 basketball since the start of the new calendar year, and I think one of those play-in spots is very attainable. I think overall the team is playing pretty well. The offense has certainly gelled and improved more as the season has gone along, which has been good to see. But I do definitely want to get active in the trade market today. I also want to point out that R.J. Barrett is pissed. His morale is in the toilet. I don't know why. I noticed it was around when he suffered his first injury of the season because he's gotten hurt like 3 times. Good thing he was extended already, or else that could be a problem. So hopefully he's not upset for too much longer. I think outside of those top 4 guys, pretty much everybody else on the roster is somewhat expendable, and there are some players in specific who I do feel that I am willing to trade this year at the deadline. We have a lot of guys locked up on multi-year contracts, which I think is good and bad. We don't have a ton of cap flexibility, but we do have a lot of tradable contracts for the future, which I think will be good for us. One of those tradable contracts is Evan Fournier, who has another year left after this one. He has a big enough deal to where he can match salary if we're getting a really good player, but maybe we just want to go totally younger and maybe move on from him. If we look at some of the young players on this roster, I'm most fascinated by the 2 2020 draft picks, Immanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin, 2 players whose futures I really wasn't sure about at the beginning of the series. Now I have a better idea. Immanuel Quickley is a guy who has really impressed me. During our good streak since January, Quickley's been playing some really good basketball. He started the year off kind of slowly, but he's been playing really well over the past month or so. He's only had 1 game in the single digits of scoring since the start of January, and he's really improved as the year has gone along. Obi Toppin, on the other hand, I don't feel has had that good of a season. He's averaged the same amount of minutes that he did last year, but his numbers across the board are worse. Less points, same rebounds, pretty much same assists. But look at the efficiency. Career low across the board in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. He's been a liability on offense, and I don't think he's a great defender. He doesn't have the size and athleticism to really match with big guys down low, but he also doesn't have the quickness and length to switch on the perimeter. So he hasn't been very good on offense this year. He's not a great defender. What does he do? So I was doing some experimenting in the trade finder. I found this trade from Utah interesting, particularly involving Jared Vanderbilt, because he's kind of the anti-Obi Toppin, at least on defense. He's also 6'9", around the same size as Toppin, but he's got great length, great quickness, and great versatility on the defensive end of the floor. I think he'd make a lot of sense for us. I was doing some experimenting, maybe something like Fournier and Toppin for Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley. They said no. They gave a counteroffer, which does include Udoka Azubuike, a player who I do really like since he's a Kansas Jayhawk. But I wasn't really able to come up with something I liked. I didn't want to give up 3 second-round picks. So I decided not to make a deal with Utah right here, but Jared Vanderbilt is a player I've definitely got my eye on for the future as a guy who we may look for later. So I did some more digging in the trade finder. I found this with Onyeka Okongwu and DeAndre Hunter. Thing is, I don't think Atlanta's doing that deal, and I want to keep the series realistic. This trade, I think, is a little bit more fair. Evan Fournier and the Timberwolves lottery-protected pick that we got in the Derrick Rose trade a couple episodes back to the Pacers for a future first that's top 5 protected, and Terry Taylor. I don't love making Indiana better because they are competing for a play-in spot, and I do think Indiana's definitely improving their roster with this trade. But that future Pacers pick could be a really good asset because Indiana still does not have a great team. Terry Taylor is also an interesting young player. He's only 23 years old, but we're actually going to use him as trade bait for another trade. A player I was really intrigued by is Zeke Naji from the Denver Nuggets. So I was trying to do some experimenting here to get us him along with Christian Brown in a deal centering around Obi Toppin and Terry Taylor. The Nuggets don't want to take on extra salary, so clearly they don't seem interested in Isaiah Hartenstein, so I'm trying to find maybe cheaper centers who they would want. I tried Daniel Gafford, but the Wizards were unwilling to part, even with getting 4 second-round picks, 2 from us, 2 from Denver. Goga Bitadze is a little bit worse. I figured maybe this would work. And Indiana's not interested. Even with the addition of the second-round picks, the Pacers didn't like the deal. I tried it with Andre Drummond with the Bulls, along with 4 seconds. They said no. What about Day'Ron Sharpe from Brooklyn? No. These teams are being very stingy. I tried Tony Bradley. He's a 1-star, and the Bulls view him as a positive asset. DJ Wilson is viewed as an asset. He's 1 star. I don't get this. So then I just tried it with Jericho Sims, who is a lot cheaper, along with some second-round picks. The Nuggets have shown that they're willing to add a 1-star center, and they still don't want to. They gave us an interesting counteroffer involving Peyton Watson, but again, I don't want to trade 3 second-round picks if I don't have to. I tried this with Moses Brown. The Clippers really like Isaiah Hartenstein. The Clippers want to do the deal, but not Denver. So I added some draft picks to both sides, and I mean, it just doesn't seem like the Nuggets are willing to be cooperative, and when they are being cooperative, the other team isn't. Look at this. Taj Gibson, he's 37 years old. The Wizards view him as a positive asset. Isaiah Hartenstein's only like 13 years younger, along with the fact that he's just outright better. So we ended up getting another counteroffer, Quentin Grimes for Peyton Watson. Not that bad, but I said no. So then I got to thinking, who is like the worst old bad player in the NBA currently? The answer is probably Udonis Haslem. Let's see if the Miami Heat view him as too valuable of an asset. Yup, this game does not make sense. So then I figured maybe rather than adding a third team, giving the Nuggets a player, why don't we add some draft picks? The Nuggets are now willing to do just the swap of 2 for 2, but now the Suns are being greedy. So after doing some digging, I was finally able to figure out a 3-team deal that everybody liked. I would have just done Toppin and Taylor for Naji and Brown. The Nuggets wouldn't have done that as a 2-team deal, but they want to do it as a 3-team deal. I don't know why. This game doesn't make sense. But this is the final trade. Toppin and Taylor to the Nuggets, Jericho Sims and Miles McBride to the Suns. We will be getting back Zeke Naji, Christian Brown, Vlatko Cancar, Jock Lansdale, and a second-round pick, while Bismack Biyombo is also headed to the Nuggets. So the deal is finally done. That probably took 2 hours away from my life, but I finally got a deal that I liked and was able to do. I don't really care for Jock Landale. Sorry, Jock. We're just trading him here to the Pacers for a swap of second-round picks. So, yeah, that's a lot to take in. We made a couple really big trades. Let's digest them, let's debrief, and let's talk about what we did. So, overall, we lost Evan Fournier, Obi Toppin, Jericho Sims, Miles McBride, and the Timberwolves pick. In exchange, we got a Pacers pick, Zeke Naji, Christian Brown, Vlatko Cancar, and multiple additional second-round picks. So we added a bunch of picks. We added 2 players who I'm really excited about, and although we lost some familiar faces with Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, the Frenchman, last time I'll be able to say that, Jericho Sims, and Miles McBride, I ultimately feel this was worth it in return. The Pacer pick I'm very excited about. I think that's going to be a great pick. We now have 4 second-rounders this year. We now have 4 second-rounders next year, along with 2 first-round picks in each of those years. So we own 10% of the next 2 drafts. That's kind of the big deal. Let's talk about the players we got. I'm very excited about Zeke Naji. He's a 6'9" forward center. He's more of an interior defender than Obi Toppin, and he's also a sniper from beyond the arc. He has an A+ 3-point rating. He'll be great depth off the bench behind Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson in the front court. We also added Christian Brown, the rookie out of Kansas. He's a do-it-all wing who can score from all 3 levels. He's a good playmaker, good perimeter defender, good athlete. He's the type of guy who you find super annoying when he's not on your team, but when he's on your team, you love him. So I'm very excited to add him to the squad. Of course, again, as a Kansas fan, Christian Brown's my boy, so I'm excited to have him here. So this is what the rotation is going to look like now. Emmanuel Quickley is moving back to the bench. With Evan Fournier gone, we need a consistent scorer for the second unit, and Quickley's the only guy who can be a lead guard off the bench. Christian Brown and Zeke Naji will be getting minutes with the second unit. Unfortunately, Quentin Grimes is out of the rotation for now. Him and Brown are pretty similar players, and I think Brown's a little bit better. But if he struggles, then I'll give his minutes to Grimes. All right, let's talk about the rest of the NBA. There are some moves around the league here at the trade deadline. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to the Cavs for Cedi Osman and 2 second-round picks. The Pistons traded for Bogdanovic in real life a couple of weeks ago, but that trade never happened. Bogdanovic is still on the Jazz, and now Cleveland gets a consistent small forward to pair with their 4 all-star caliber players. And the Jazz add an interesting young piece in Cedi Osman, who's been bad this year, but he's a fine player who could be something going forward. The Washington Wizards are completely tearing it down. They're going to be trading Kristaps Porzingis to the Nuggets and Kyle Kuzma to the Mavericks. Dallas is the number 1 seed in the West. They want another piece for their team, so they're getting Kuzma and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in exchange for Josh Green, a first and a second. As for Denver, Nikola Jokic is out until early in the playoffs, so they need a new starting center with Zeke Naji gone. That's going to be Porzingis, and when Jokic is back, him and Porzingis are going to be a great duo in the front court. The Wizards will be getting Obi Toppin, Peyton Watson in 2 seconds, with Reggie Bullock and Isaiah Todd also going to Denver. I think this makes sense for all parties. The Mavericks and Nuggets get better. The Wizards add some young pieces for 2 guys who were going to be gone in free agency, including the former Nick Obi Toppin, whose stay in Denver does not last very long. I think part of the reason why Denver was so willing to do the trade with us at the end was because they knew the Wizards had interest in Obi Toppin, and they figured they would be able to get Kristaps Porzingis that way. So I like the move for all parties. I think they get better for the short and long term. Jakob Poeltl is going to the Clippers for B.J. Boston in 2 seconds. The Clippers need more size. The Spurs, meanwhile, they're in full tank mode. Jakob Poeltl probably wasn't going to be back next year, and B.J. Boston's an interesting young piece. The Sixers are looking for a new lead guard. They'll be getting that in Cole Anthony. With James Harden out for the year with an injury, they need someone to replace him, and the Magic have a lot of guards. Markelle Fultz is finally breaking out. They have Jalen Suggs, R.J. Hampton, so they'll be getting a first-round pick and Charles Bassey in exchange for Anthony. So those are the big trades around the league. No true stars are on the move, I guess, unless you count Kristaps Porzingis as a star. There could be some high-level players who are disgruntled within the next few seasons. Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, SGA, and Damian Lillard both appear to be happy, but that could change within the next couple of seasons. The Charlotte Hornets are a sinking ship. They've been horrible this year. I could see LaMelo Ball trying to get out of there eventually, maybe looking for a bigger market. The Kings have been a pleasant surprise, but if they do fall back to earth, maybe Fox and/or Sabonis. And obviously the Knicks are a big market team looking for stars, and we added a lot of assets who could be used to acquire a star in the future. Let's focus on the current team, though, as we kick off here after the trade deadline at the Wells Fargo Center in the city of brotherly love against the Philadelphia 76ers. Both of these teams had pretty busy trade deadlines. The Sixers acquired Cole Anthony, who will be making his team debut starting at the point. As for the Knicks, we'll get our first look at Zeke Naji. Christian Braun is making technically his NBA debut. He's played a couple minutes with the Nuggets, but this is his first time getting like actual rotation minutes and not just in garbage time. So here we go, Embiid and Robinson at center court for the tip that goes to Robinson and the Knicks. And we are underway here in Philadelphia between the Knicks and the Sixers. Here's Wendell Moore looking to create some space, lets it fly from beyond the arc. For now, Wendell Moore will stay in the starting lineup. I think he's a better fit here, and Emmanuel Quickley is a better fit for what the bench needs, even if Quickley is going to be getting more minutes per game than Wendell Moore. Tobias Harris, fadeaway three is good, nothing but net. Nice shot for Tobias. That'll put the Sixers on the board 5-3. Cole Anthony in his first minutes as a Sixer hits the triple. His first points with the 76ers, and it's now 7-6. I feel like Cole Anthony's a Daryl Morey type of guy. I could see him getting a guy like Anthony. Nice pass in the corner from Moore over to a fellow Duke Blue Devil, R.J. Barrett for 3. 10-6 is your score. Here's Maxey inside cooking on Wendell Moore. Tyrese Maxey is such an explosive young guard. He makes the play. Him and Cole Anthony are going to be a fun backcourt the rest of this season. Anthony goes inside back for Maxey, hoping to get some room, and he connects on the reverse layup. Not a whole lot Wendell Moore could have done on that play. Just a good offensive play by a really good offensive player in Maxey. 10-12, here's Brunson inside. He has some ties to the city of Philadelphia. Played his college ball at Villanova, won 2 NCAA national championships as he ties it at 12. Beautiful step back by R.J. Barrett. He hits the 3. Barrett on the board with a couple of triples here in the first quarter. The Knicks offense looks good so far as it's 15-12. Pump fake, step back. Nice move by Tobias Harris. And the Sixers bring it within 1. After a singular Wendell Moore 3 throw, it's now a 2-point game as Embiid gets it over to Montrezl Harrell. Harold guarded by Hartenstein and the new acquisition Zeke Naji as he puts in the layup to tie the game at 16. 76ers running the fast break, looking to take the lead. Here's Melton inside and makes the floater. Melton was in the starting lineup. I think he's more of a high-energy guard off the bench, and clearly the Sixers saw that when they got Cole Anthony. Naji is blocked, but he gets the putback. Good second chance play by Zeke Naji as he gets his first points as a Knick. I really feel Naji can be a long-term piece here. He's got a great skill set and is a player I'm excited about, although I will miss the Obi top and alley-oops. Naji with a nice play at the basket. The Knicks are back on top. Now it's tied at 22. It's been a very close game here in this first quarter, neck and neck. Emmanuel quickly drives inside, makes the layup for the lead. And the second unit is continuing this strong start for the offense. Brown in the corner over to Zeke Naji for three. The former Denver Nuggets connecting there. Brown with his first NBA assist. And Naji showing off his great three-point shot. He is the best pure shooter on the roster. The Knicks really improved their floor spacing today with their trades. Nice dunk by Joel Embiid. Sixers cut it to one. Knicks looking for a last-second shot. Step back three by Quickly is no good. It's been a fun start here in Philadelphia. The Knicks lead 27-26 as we go to the second. Nice block inside. I think that was Barrett who got a hand on it. On the other end, Barrett looks to make a play on the defense. Goes inside for Mitchell Robinson, who gets his first point of the day. For now, Robinson will remain in the starting lineup, but we may do some experimenting with Zeke Naji possibly starting at center in the future as Cam Reddish hits the three on the wing. The Knicks are off to a hot start here in the second quarter. They lead by 9. It was a very close first quarter, but here in quarter number 2, it's been one-sided. The Sixers looking to get back in it as Daniel House hits the three. 40-34. Brunson putting the moves on Anthony in the corner for Julius Randle. The Knicks are shooting the three ball really well today, right around 50%. They're doing it on high volume. Brunson nearly loses it over to Cam Reddish, who hits the three. Reddish is another guy with Philadelphia ties. He grew up just west of the city in Norristown, played his high school ball for Westtown in Westchester, also not too far away from the city, as Cole Anthony gets the and one. Anthony's looking pretty good in his 76er debut. I'm impressed. Here's Wendell Moore, looks to drive inside, gets it in the corner for Rowan Alexander Barrett Jr., who hits the three. R.J. Barrett, 3 for 3 from the field today, and all of the shots have been three-pointers. 51-37. Sixers looking to play a little bit better here in the second quarter as they get the pick and roll working there with Embiid, who makes the layup inside. Now a 10-point game. Milton with the ball, gets it over to Tobias Harris. Heavily contested, top of the key three, gets the toilet roll bounce to fall. Nice shot for Tobias Harris. 55-44, 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Harris inside, his shot is deflected by Randle, gets it back for the putback, and the Sixers make it a single-digit deficit. 55-46. Here's Quickly inside, nifty step back in the corner for Wendell Moore, who hits the three. More in the double figures here in the first half. He has 11. 58-48. A little bit over a minute left in the half. Randle, heavily contested layup is good. The Knicks offense right now is firing on all cylinders as it's 60-50. Hartenstein with the block inside. Sixers get it back. Milton's blocked again by Hartenstein. What a sequence by the talented German big man. 60-52, under 10 seconds left in the quarter. Here's Brown inside, his first NBA bucket. Christian Brown can drive to the basket. He did a great job of that at Kansas, really improved throughout his 3-year career. So we're going to simcast into the third quarter. There's a reason why I did this. The game was bugging and quit out sometimes in halftime. I had to record the first half like 3 separate times, so I didn't want to deal with it. So unfortunately, you won't get the halftime report as Julius Randle starts the third with a nice corner three. Randle with 10 and 5. He's been pretty solid today as the Knicks lead by 13 points. Anthony over to Harris. Gets it over to Tyrese Maxey for three. Maxey's best ability is his speed and quickness going to the basket, but he can shoot the three as well. 67-55. Maxey fools the defender of a pump fake. Inside for Joel Embiid, who makes the layup, and the Sixers have it back to a 10-point game. 67-57. Randle off the catch for three. No good. Robinson's there for the rebound and the putback slam. Nice dunk for Mitchell Robinson. 69-57. Barrett off the screen. Deep three is good. R.J. Barrett has 14 points on 4 field goal attempts today. That's insane. 72-57. Nice shot block by the Knicks. On the other end, here's Barrett. Another deep three. Bang! Barrett has 17 points on 5 of 5 shooting from the field. He's averaging more than 3 points per field goal. That's insane. 75-57. Here's Embiid. Nice layup over Robinson. The Sixers got to get some momentum because right now the Knicks are on fire. As good as their offense was in the first half, they've been even better in the second half. Nice dunk by Maxey, bringing the lead to 16. We know this Sixers team has the capability of making a comeback, but not if the Knicks are going to be shooting like this. Killer Cam Reddish again. Hits for corner 3. Everything is going right on the offensive end of the floor for the Knicks. Maybe it's the added spacing with Zeke Naji and Christian Brown, but even when those two guys are not in the game, everything is going well. Reddish with a nice dunk. He has 15 points. Reddish has drastically improved offensively throughout the season and is really looking like he's earned a contract extension. Brunson with a dime cross court for Randall. The Knicks lead by 23. What is happening? New York is dominating. 84-67. The Sixers with 6 unanswered points make it 8 off the hook shot by Joel Embiid. Still a big deficit for the 76ers to crawl back from, but they are on a nice little run here late in the third. Back to Embiid. He gets the play again. Remember, the Knicks dominated the Sixers back on Christmas, but Embiid really struggled in that game. Today, Embiid's been great, and the Knicks are still playing phenomenal. Quickly misses the shot at the buzzer. Still a very good third quarter for New York. They lead by 15 points, 86-71. Let's see if New York can hold on here for the win in the fourth quarter. Hopefully no funny business as Brunson tries to lob it up for Randall, who just kind of heaves it up and it goes in. I mean, that works. It wasn't pretty, but it does the job. 88-71. Here is Anthony. Gets it over to Daniel House. Inside for Joel Embiid. Not much Zeke Naji could have done on that possession. As Embiid makes the shot, he has continued to play really well for the Sixers today. Wendell Moore inside, no good. Grabs his own rebound, gets the putback. The Knicks just seem to want it more. They're fighting for more rebounds. They're playing harder on defense. And obviously, they're hitting every shot in the book. 92-78. Here's Embiid, pushes off Robinson. Should that have been an offensive foul? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Mitchell Robinson's just a really good actor. I don't know. There's Julius Randle. He hits the step-back 3. Randle has been dominant since the start of the second quarter, and he leads the Knicks with 21. 97-82, 5.5 to go. Nice dunk by Cole Anthony. Anthony's got some underrated athleticism. He's got some bunnies. 97-84. Maxey inside. Floats it up. He's blocked, but Embiid gets it back for the putback. Joel Embiid continues to be a force in the second half, but the Sixers aren't making any comeback. They're not cutting into the lead. Robinson with the putback off the Wendell Moore miss, and the Knicks lead by 13. New York is led by double digits in the entire fourth quarter. The Sixers are staying afloat, but they've got to make a little rally soon if they want to make a comeback. Nice reverse dunk by Embiid, bringing the lead to 11. Following Philly possession, Harris makes the layup, and the Sixers finally have it within single digits as it's a 9-point game. Following 76ers possession, Maxey floats it up, no good. Rebound and putback to follow by Embiid. Okay, now the Sixers have a little rally going. Now the Knicks need to wake up a little bit. 99-92, Barrett over to Brunson. His shot no good. Rebounded by Randall. Randall over to Quickly. Contested 3 is good! Huge three-pointer by Emmanuel Quickly. And the Sixers lead is nothing because they're not winning. They're down by 10. Here's Embiid inside with the slam. Back to an 8-point game with 2 minutes to go. Following Philadelphia possession, House loses it as he's stripped away. On the other end, Quickly for 3. Again! A couple of huge threes for Emmanuel Quickly. And the Knicks lead by 11 with under 2 to go. Sixers got to start a big rally now or else it could be too little too late. Embiid again with the throwdown. 105-96. Brunson calls for a play, hoping somebody gets open off the screen. It's Randall for 3. Bang! Julius Randle with 24 and 12. He has played great today, and it might be done. I don't know if the Sixers have much of a shot. Maxey for 3, no good. Another rebound and another putback by Embiid, who seems to be the only guy scoring here in this fourth quarter for the 76ers. Embiid misses that time. Knicks on the fast break, looking to ice the game once and for all. Quickly gets a screen. Quickly inside. Fadeaway midi is good. That's the icing on the cake. That's the dagger. The New York Knicks hold on to win it 113-101. The Sixers made it a little bit close for comfort there at the end, but in the fourth quarter, the deficit was never less than 7. And our offense played too well early in this game for us to blow it. The offense definitely came back down to earth as the second half went along. But really, through the first 2.5 quarters, our three-point shooting was great. Embiid with 36 and 16. I feel like at least 20 came in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was a presence at the end of the game, but the Sixers weren't able to make a comeback. They didn't cut into the lead much. The rest of the team was kind of underwhelming. Cole Anthony was fine. He didn't have many mistakes, but he should have shot the ball more than 5 times. As for the Knicks, Randall with 24 and 12. Barrett with 20. He definitely cooled off after his hot start. Quickly was great down the stretch with 10 points in the final 2 minutes. Reddish and Moore also in the double figures. Zeke Naji I thought was pretty solid. Christian Brown I want to see more from, but he only played 6 minutes. I wish Brown was in the game a little bit more than that. So we're going to simulate up to the All-Star break. We had 3 more games. We got killed by the Jazz, okay? But we beat the Knicks, and we demolished the Hawks in Atlanta. Triple-double for Randall. Barrett, Brunson, and Quickly also in the double figures. As for the new acquisitions, Zeke Naji's been fine so far. He had 16 in the loss to Utah. And then Christian Brown has been fine as well, 7, 3, and 7 in around 12 minutes per game. About what I think we can expect from Brown, someone who can occasionally drop double figures. So here are the All-Star teams, of course, headlined by Austin Rivers, who 2K thinks is averaging 71 points per game, in case you missed it in the last episode. 2K is totally glitching. Unfortunately, we do not have any All-Stars at all. We don't have any participants in the All-Star Saturday night. We don't have any rising stars, and I guess it's not really a surprise. Maybe we could have gotten like a Wendell Moore in the Rising Stars game. But other than that, I mean, I get it. Nobody else is really deserving of anything. The dunk contest should be fun, though, with Zion, Ja, Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Green. That's a fun group. Team USA loses to Team World, led by Jonathan Kuminga in the Rising Stars game. Curry wins the three-point contest. Zion wins the dunk contest. Team Giannis wins the All-Star game, led by Austin Rivers, who dropped a nothing burger, but his team still won. So that's going to wrap up the episode. Next time, we're going to start off the second half of the season. Although we're really 3/4 of the way through the season. We only have 22 games left to go. Currently at a record of 30 and 30. Can the Knicks get a play-in spot? Can we get a playoff spot? I think we're going to have 2 more regular season episodes, one of which will feature a prospect profile. I'm not sure if that's going to be the next episode or the following one. We'll have to see. But yeah, let me know what you thought of what we did in the trade deadline. Do you like our moves? Do you not like our moves? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.